Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on the Flash Season 7. And for this video, I'll be talking a little bit about the new artificial speed force that we will be getting for the Flash Season 7. And I'll be explaining it from what we know of so far and what it really is, and possibly even things we should expect with this new speed force. For instance, like new abilities that we'll probably see Barry have, something along those lines. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And also be sure to follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. You guys can stay updated in regards to my thoughts on various other things related to the Arrowverse, which I don't do videos on because obviously I don't have time to do all the Arrowverse shows. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will be seeing my thoughts on like these various different Arrowverse shows which I don't do videos on. So that will be linked in the description down below. So one thing we obviously had during the Flash Season 6 was the death of the Speed Force, and it dealt Barry with a huge blow that he suffered from throughout the back half of the Flash Season 6. And by the end of the season, Barry still has some of his speed left, however it is dwindling with every day that passes by. Now Barry knows that his speed will soon be gone, and that is why he was given like a speed gauge or something so he could like monitor his speed in certain points. And so if he doesn't exceed that like level that he's supposed to run, so he basically has to maintain his speed for a longer period of time so he doesn't end up being powerless. However, we also found out during the Flash Season 6 that Barry is committed into coming up with a replacement for the Speed Force, and he needs the help of Team Flash to obviously create this new artificial Speed Force so he could obviously get his speed back. And during the Flash Season 6, we have seen Barry attempt to create this new Speed Force by using a couple of things such as Nora's journal, and he has remained unsuccessful so far. And we obviously know that we will be getting it for the Flash Season 7. That is one thing we know for sure. So don't worry guys, he will not be like fluctuating in regards to his speed. He will get this new Speed Force working eventually. But what exactly is this artificial Speed Force in the first place? Now, from what we know of so far, this artificial Speed Force will be this alternate source of energy which grants our speedsters to run as super speeds alongside various other abilities that they already have. So like time traveling, throwing lightning, phasing through walls, stuff like that. Now we have seen one of our speedsters have their own version of the Speed Force, and that is obviously Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash. So I will be using Thawne's Speed Force as an example to explain the difference between the Speed Force that we have compared to another version of the Speed Force. Now, although we don't know exactly how Thawne was able to create his own Speed Force, his own version of the Speed Force is quite different to that of the regular Speed Force. So one thing we know that Thawne's Speed Force has that the other Speed Force doesn't is that Thawne's Speed Force is powered by emotions, most specifically negative thoughts and emotions. Therefore, anyone who taps into his Speed Force will somewhat be like get corrupted and eventually turn into like a villain, because they'll get corrupted with all these like negative thoughts and stuff like that. So they'll only be thinking about those, which obviously leads them down a dark path. Whereas the original Speed Force, we know that it isn't powered with any like sort of emotions or something like that. The original Speed Force was just simply a source of energy which gave speedsters various abilities such as going in super speeds and the other superpowers that I've mentioned before. Now we know that Thawne is able to do the exact same things as he would be able to do with that of the normal Speed Force. However, there are some differences towards his Speed Force as well. And that includes making the user of the negative Speed Force actually immune to timeline changes. So if you guys were wondering in the first place how exactly Thawne was able to survive every single time he got erased from existence, that is why. Not many people really know this, but it was because the negative Speed Force was actually shielding him from timeline changes all along. So using Thawne's example of his own Speed Force, we could get like a more broad and a more clearer idea on how Barry's Speed Force will actually work. Now we obviously know that Barry is still yet to make his Speed Force in some way, and obviously all I'm talking about right now is just pure speculation, but could we have it that Barry's Speed Force is once again the opposite of the Reverse Flash? And that would actually make sense because they are obviously the opposites. So instead of being charged with like negative emotions and negative thoughts, what if Barry's Speed Force is being charged with like positive emotions and stuff like that? And the more you actually think about it, the more it kind of makes sense after all, because Barry is the paragon of love within the multiverse. We knew that from the Flash season 6. So it would kind of make a lot of sense if Barry's version of the Speed Force is powered by like positive emotions and like love, stuff like that. And as I said, that would be really great, because obviously Thawne's Speed Force is powered by like negativity, hatred and stuff like that. So having that like opposite once again, it would be really good. Now for me at least, the new Speed Force is something new to the show, meaning we could explore many different storylines this season in regards to this new Speed Force. And that seems to already be the case by the looks of it, since Eric Wallace has mentioned that the Flash season 7 will be heavily Speedster related, and it will dive deep into the Speedster mythology. So hopefully this storyline does allow us to like further explore the new Speed Force in some way, as I said, it's a new thing to the show, so it does open up like many storylines that you could play along with. Now, since we are getting another version of the Speed Force, one thing we should expect are some changes between the old Speed Force and the brand new one to really make them differ between each other. Because if you really think about it, if you have something new to the show that you add and you make it like the exact same thing as something that we've already had before, what really is the point on having that new thing in the first place? Like, why not just restore the old Speed Force if they're literally going to be the same? So I hope they have like different changes to the new Speed Force, and the best way to do so, at least for my eyes, is to give Barry some new abilities that we haven't seen him have before. So maybe he could do like those Godspeed, like speed sucking powers, something like that. Just like something new that we haven't seen before. I can't really think of any ideas in the top of my head right now, because if he was to lose abilities, that would like trigger lots of fans, because like if he loses the ability to time travel, for example, no one would like that. Like, it would just be like annoying. And well, if they introduced the cosmic treadmill, then I would understand, but I would hate it if he lost his abilities. So I'd rather have him have new abilities over like losing some abilities that he's had before. Now, the Flash season 7 episode 2 is titled The Speed of Thought, and you guys would have heard me say this before, and that in the comics the Flash was only able to move as fast as a thought. This was actually until he learned how to move his neurons faster than the speed of light. So with that being said, he learned to move beyond what he was able to, and also he became way smarter along that as well. So this is something they could potentially add into the show to show that difference between the new Speed Force and the old Speed Force as well. I would actually be down for that if they actually do this. So instead of Barry getting faster and faster as he gets more connected to the Speed Force, one difference that they can make with the new Speed Force is that Barry gets faster and faster depending on how fast he's able to move his neurons. And maybe alongside that, he's able to pull up a couple of new tricks as well. This is how I think they can handle the difference between the new Speed Force and the positive one. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about all of this. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about all of this. Do you guys think that this will actually happen? Should they show like changes between like the new Speed Force and the old Speed Force? And also be sure to tell me whether you think this video was useful in regards to explaining this new artificial Speed Force. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.